Mabu, hey! Today I'm going to be recapping the latest episode of Slaysian Royale, the semi-finals, High Time. So last week I thought this was the finale. They kept calling it the finale in the preview, but it turns out it isn't. It's the semi-final. I have a lot to say, but before I get into it, I need to rant for a second. I get this comment a few times a week. Girl, it's not Mabu hey, it's Mabu hi. I know it's Mabuhay. I told you, my auntie is Filipina. But in the show, they say Mabu, hey, like, hey, girl, hey. That's like saying to me, mistress, it's history, not herstory. Like, do you even watch the show? Okay, rant over. The four semifinalists walk back into the workroom after Kiana's elimination, and Arizona says this is not the top four she expected to see, but she won't name names. Suki, of course, feels the pressure being the only international queen left. So it's a new week in the workroom, and Suki says Brigading is her biggest competition due to track record. Brigading says that she was surprised to see Arizona in the finale because she didn't expect her to make it that far. Which doesn't really make sense to me because out of all of them, Arizona has now made the finale twice. Venus never made the finale, Brigading never made the finale, and Suki never made the finale. But Arizona did. So at that moment, Mama Pao enters the workroom and announces that the queens will be partaking in a traditional Slaysian boodle fight. And this will happen at the same time as a sit-down chit-chat with Mama Pao and Jevi Wrightson. They will then have to undertake a raw emotional photo shoot. And whoever gives the most emotion will snatch the win. Arizona says she doesn't want to be like Marina or Kiana. She just wants to be herself. I loved her picture with the vape smoke. It was very her. It was very poignant. Poignant? Brigading says she didn't expect to make the top four and that she felt she was quite arrogant in her original season. She thought she could do anything because she is considered one of the most famous drag queens in the Philippines. But she took that criticism and she worked hard. The winner edit for Brigading is so there. She's showing the Brigading the judges always wanted to see. And her photo was very sweet. Suki tells Mama Pao and Jevi that she's a very resilient person. She says Slaysian Royale has been a very healing and inspiring journey for her. I love this photo of her staring off into the distance. It was very main character energy. Last but not least, we have Venus. She says she's a lot more mature this time around and expects to face off against Brigading in the finale. She wants to beat the best. And if you didn't think Brigading was getting a winner's edit before, Venus actually talks more about Brigading than herself. They're really making it clear that these will be the top two that will lip sync for the crown. And her photo was absolutely my favorite. It's so full of joy. The win ends up going to Venus. They say they could see directly into her soul from this image. So for their last maxi challenge of the season, the queens will be starring in a music video. Each queen will have 10 minutes of shooting time. Venus gets to steal 2 minutes from another queen's video and add it to her own. She ends up stealing Arizona's time due to her improv skills. The girls will be coached by supergroup Reina, which consists of captivating Kat Kat, Marina Summers, Maxi, and Precious Paula Nicole. They will be writing and recording their own verses as well as performing to Reina's hit High Time. And Reina are a really big deal. I think they said they were the first drag Filipina supergroup, which is huge. As the queens prepare, Suki tells Venus that as she has extra time, it has to be extra good. No pressure. And that leads Venus to being in her head about the extra time, which makes me think it's not really an advantage, is it? So on the main stage this evening, we have Mama Pao. I do not have a photo of her here, but she was absolutely gorgeous as always. And we have her with extra special guest judges, Marina Summers, and winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16, Nymphia Wind. So it's the world premiere of High Time by Reina. And what an absolute bop. They never miss in the Philippines. I like that Suki spoke Spanish again in her verse. She looks so hot. I don't have a picture of her performing though, I'm so sorry. Arizona absolutely killed her performance. Her vocals were great, and I love the way that she rapped it. Brigading looks so puss in her gold outfit. She did an amazing job. And Venus was also such a powerhouse. She has such levels to her vocals that I always enjoy. I had a moment though where I was a little bit sad that we didn't get to see Kiana do this challenge because Kiana would have absolutely murdered it. Category is award giving body yoddy yoddies, and I gave my top two to Brigading. I love the blue. She looks very Hollywood red carpet, holding her award, which she calls the Sparkling Mother Award. This represents her as a bright star. And I like that they had a glam bot on the stage too. That was a really nice touch that we haven't seen done on Drag Race before. So it's time for the judges' critiques. First up, we have Suki Doll. They loved her lyrics and her personality, they just wanted her to connect with the camera a bit more. They loved her runway as well, which was an actual homage to her fashion label. Arizona is told she had great charisma and connection to the camera. Nymphia really liked that she matched her award to her gown. And Marina said her lyrics really highlighted her growth and journey in the competition. Next up is Brigading, and she's told she had the best eye contact and looks so hot. She had a great energy, using every bit of space around her. They adored her runway, as did I. Venus showed pure camp excellence on the runway, including a used fleshlight. I think she explained on the runway that she used to be bullied for her drooping lips, and she turned that all around by embracing her mouth. Mama Pow says Venus's wit goes a long way. Mama Pow then asks each of the queens why they should be the first Slaysian Royale superstar. In Untucked, the final four reflect on their eliminated sisters, saying what specific awards they would have won. I love that they gave Siam the Spirit Award. Stop that chanting. They are then joined by Reina. Venus confirms that she hadn't spoken to Marina for quite some time after filming their season. People had been suspecting a feud, but obviously they've made up, and this was a really nice wholesome moment between both of them. Back on the main stage, the win goes to Brigading yet again. She has one of the best track records in Drag Race history now. History, not history. She's also the first to be inducted into the grand finale. I have no doubt Brigading is going to win. It's been quite obvious for a while now. I personally think Arizona could have won this challenge. I think she did an absolutely amazing job, but I'm not mad that Brigading won because I also really like what she did and I loved her runway. Arizona is also inducted into the grand finale, which means it's down to Venus and Suki Doll to lip sync for their life. They performed to Power by Morissette. They gave everything to that power ballad, especially Venus. Venus emoted like never before. She is told to Shantae, and it seems like Suki Doll is going to leave, but then she's also inducted into the grand finale. And I have to say, not to sound like Suki isn't deserving, but I'm wondering if Suki made the grand finale because they had to have at least one international queen make it. Because if this was a genuine lip sync for your life where one had to go home, Venus beat Suki. But we can't have 4 PH queens in the finale, we have to have one international. And so, my friends, I will ask you again like I did last week. Are you Team Venus Deluxe, Team Brigading, Team Arizona Brandy, or Team Suki Doll? And just like last week, I am still Team Venus Deluxe. But I do believe Brigading is going to win, and it will be very well deserved if she does. So next week is the grand finale. My video will be slightly delayed because I'm actually having surgery. Don't worry guys, I'm fine. It is a medical procedure that I'm undergoing, not cosmetic surgery. But I do need this done and I need it done soon. I will be resting a lot afterwards, so trust me, the recap will be out ASAP. But as always, give me all your thoughts and I'll be back very soon with another video.